Fucker! The ghost looked down at his body in disbelief. 2 axes were stuck in his chest. This is why a weak human body... Thud. The body of Kim Yong-jun fell backward. Number of enemies to be defeated, 0. Number of enemies killed, 1. The quest is over. You have completed urgent quest, defeat the enemy. Your level increased. Phew! Suho's exhausted strength quickly returned to its optimal condition. However, Suho was not vigilant. He killed Kim Yong-jun, but it was the sword he was holding that controlled his body. Ruler's power, slash, a stone axe fell from the air and cut off the arm of Kim Yong-jun, who was holding the sword. Great, this sword is the main thing. Baru flew over and lifted up the sword that Kim Yong-jun was holding. At that moment, a piercing voice echoed in Baru's head. Who dares covet the sword of the monarch, young master? Can I eat this sword? Whoa, wait a second. Won't we settle it through a nice conversation? The voice of the sword suddenly became friendly. Baru's expression as he looked at it and licked his lips was so genuine. Meanwhile, Suho was not in a situation where he could answer Baru's words. Growl, the ghost was taken care of. However, with his previous order, the wolves were attacking Suho all at once. Suho regained his strength and mana because of the level up, and as all of his stats went up by 1, his movements were improved compared to before. Slash slash, you have killed a steel-tooth lichen. You have killed a steel-tooth lichen, Suho shouted at Baru as he killed the attacking wolves one by one. This weapon is too short. Can I use that sword? Who dares? Of course it is possible. It is absolutely impossible for a ghost like this to corrupt the mind of young master. Okay. Suho took the sword from Baru. Item Riken's Fang has been obtained. As if waiting for that moment, the ghost of the sword roared ferociously. Who dares covet the sword of the monarch? I will devour your body. Swoosh! Red energy radiated from the sword and attacked Suho. Then, a shadow rose from under Suho's feet and engulfed the sword. What is this energy? The disconcerted ghost's voice grew smaller and smaller. This can't be the Shadow Monarch! The ghost couldn't believe it. He got the sword of the beast monarch. It wasn't just a normal sword. It was an alter ego created by the monarch. It was absurd that there was a human being who inherited that great power. Even more so, doesn't this human look weak at a glance? Heh. No matter how weak young master is, there's no way he'll be overpowered by something insignificant. What? Insignificant? Oh, so noisy. Suho ignored the ghost's screams and swung his sword at the wolves. Slash! The wolves were cut by the sword. Its sturdiness is on a whole different level than pickaxes and stone axes that were shattered by their steel teeth. Still, the weapon is good. Of course, it's good. Do you know whose sword it is? In the midst of this, the ghost still showed pride. Suho was still surrounded, but he had a little more time to spare and immediately checked the reward. Come out with anything that helps. The stats are good too. The completion reward has arrived. Do you want to check the reward? YN. Yes! The following reward is prepared. Reward. Runestone Blade Storm. It's a skill. It was the best reward. Suho immediately checked the reward. Runestone Blade Storm. Breaking the runestone absorbs the skill. Ting, you have acquired Skill Blade Storm. When the runes were broken, the power of the storm came throughout Suho's body. Woo! This is... Suho instinctively realized. How to use this skill? How should the skill be used? The situation was urgent, so Suho used the skill right away. Ha! Skill Blade Storm is used. Whoosh! At that moment, a fierce wind blew from the sword held by Suho. The Blade Storm attacked the wolves in front of Suho at the same time. Slash, slash! You have killed a steel-tooth lichen. You have killed a steel-tooth lichen. You have killed a steel-tooth lichen. Multiple messages appeared. Wow! Suho was amazed. More than 10 wolves died at the same time. The wolves who barely survived the tremendous destructive force were frightened and started to run away. Suho had no intention of chasing them anymore. It was because the mana used for this skill had run out. Skill Blade Storm Level 1. Active skill requires 50 mana. The power of the raging wind dwells in the sword. Can attack multiple enemies simultaneously. It required an enormous amount of mana, but the effect was just as great. Suho was looking at the skills window. That sight made Baru speechless. Are you amazed by that skill? Shadow power is thousands or tens of thousands of times greater than that. What are you talking about? That power came out because of a great sword and not a skill. The ghost of the sword was no less proud than Baru. Both of you, be quiet. It's a historic moment that I finally got my attack skills. Suho ignored the two quarreling with each other and went back to the miners who were hiding far away. Are you okay, a newbie? The miners were astonished at the skill they saw right in front of them. It's a skill that causes a storm. If you had such a skill, why haven't you been using it? At the reaction of the men, Suho put on an embarrassed expression. They most likely wouldn't believe it if he told them that he acquired a new skill during the battle. If I use it even once, I will run out of mana. That's why I saved it until the last minute. Oh! They admired him even more because of those words. Suho just awakened as a hunter a few days ago. It was also his first time inside a dungeon, but he planned to use his greatest card at the very end. He seemed like an experienced hunter who went into dungeons hundreds of times. No way, if that was the case, was his mana level even thoroughly measured. Even that running away and hiding plan, just how big was the picture you were drawing? What? Haha, nothing. You don't really have to tell me. We asked you something we shouldn't have. Anyway, thank you for saving us. If it weren't for you, we really wouldn't have seen the sun tomorrow. The miners let out a sigh of relief, wondering if they could finally feel the fact that they were alive. It was that evening that the accident at the Korea University dungeon became known. What, the raiders have been wiped out? Only in a D-class dungeon? Wasn't the leader of the hunters who entered their C-class? What the hell happened? Reporters rushed to Korea University to find out the truth of the incident. However, the miners who managed to survive there had long since left. Haha, we will let you know. Of course, Professor Lim was still working in the assistant office. Thanks to his escaping skill, it was once again put to good use. He looked in good condition without a single wound. Great! This is my chance to pay off my debt to Suho. Assistant Professor Lim told reporters everything he knew about the incident in the dungeon, in particular more details about Suho's performance. It was up to the reporters to believe or not believe. What, an E-class hunter and a summoning hunter? Does that make sense? We heard that one C-class hunter died in this situation. How can such a low-level hunter... Wait, what's wrong with being an E-class hunter or even a summoning hunter? Are you looking down on us? Assistant Professor Lim was furious at the reporters' reactions. I'm going to write down all of your comments and post them to the E-class hunter community. I.e., why are you so angry? All right, calm down. In response to Assistant Professor Lim's reaction, the reporters began to appease him while having cold sweats. The E-class hunter community was a tricky thing for reporters. There are really a lot of comments. There are no areas where E-class hunters weren't mentioned. As a result, the community was a place where trivial information came and went, and they got hated just once. It would be quite too much to handle for reporters. Anyway, that hunter named Sung Suho played the biggest role, right? He used the summoned creatures to divert the attention and cut off the arm of the hunter who became the ghost. To sum it up, it was an extremely summoning hunter-like battle method. It did seem that what happened was too good for a summoning hunter, but the reporters perceived it as a favoritism of Assistant Professor Lim, who defended his art student. Well, whatever, we have secured content for the article anyway. The content was that an E-class hunter used his wits to solve the case, but people's reactions were outrageous. Summoning skill plus an E-class hunter? Worst of the worst. Are they making a summoning hunter go viral? Do the reporters have nothing to write about these days? Anyway, that E-class hunter is a summoning hunter too, but didn't he save students there a few days ago? Looks like he used that skill back then too. Ah, he's now called the viral summoning hunter Tilda. And some of the guilds who saw the article showed interest in Suho. Are E-class good enough? Even if the journalists exaggerate a little bit, there is still a lot beyond expectation among the E-class. Isn't it about time to select some of our porters? Besides that, the collector team asked for more staff. Good. These days, E-class hunters are all taken from here and there, so there aren't many freelancers to ask. We also have to hire a few E-class hunters as full-time workers. A full-time job? Am I too old-fashioned? Still, E-class hunters seem to be perfect for contract jobs or day jobs. Anyway, young guys these days. Anyway, I will send a scouting offer to this hunter named Sung Suho. All right then. How happy would he be if we called? He's a lucky one. With that, the Hae-in Guild, a fairly large guild in Korea, offered a full-time job to Sung Suho. What a great opportunity for a newbie who just awakened. Other E-class hunters might be envious if they knew. Asterisk. After some time, what? Manager Lee Yong-ho of the Hyunmoo Guild's second management division doubted his ears. He said no to our offer? Yes. Does that make sense? An E-class newbie rejecting Hyunmoo's offer? No way. Did Baeko got him first? Maybe. Right, the Baeko guys can do that, but isn't it too much if they offered something higher than ours to an E-class hunter? Do they have money rotting somewhere? Manager Lee Young-ho can only curse at the clueless Baeko Guild.